out and about today. So, what do you want to talk about today, babe? This is actually a very interesting subject, and what the hell? He just blew the air and
I'll tell you what, that's some
dust
pollen,
all over the place.
That's some polleny dust.
I know, and it just blew all in my face.
Yeah, you're gonna be snorking now.
Anyway, we're going to talk about what today, because this is your game.
Well, what would you call that? Interactions with my sister? Blood demon?
Whatever you want to call it. Seed from hell.
Yeah. I mean, don't get us wrong. We didn't start this channel to bash anybody,
Nope.
Especially family members. But to be honest with you, when you're an ass, you got to be called out.
And I believe in karma, and when you do stupid stuff, it comes back on you. So here we go.
So, last Saturday, me and Ronnie were out because we wound up taking I took a day off, and me and Ronnie just went out, decided that we were going to try to relax. And I think, were we doing a video that day?
No, that was, yeah, we did do a video.
Yeah,
we did the food video.
Yeah. So, we were out, and I like to get at least one day off the weekend before I work 2 days, or I worked on a Saturday, so we worked, me and my son worked like a 6-day work week. I like to try to at least get 1 day off a week, and anymore, I'm really pushing for 2 days off a week. So we get out on a Saturday, try to relax. I get a text message from my sister, Dad dying. Now, you can have texts a lot of different ways. You can text people different things. You should never text someone on a death situation to let somebody know that they're dying who doesn't know. You know, of course I know he's sick and I know he's going downhill, but like I said, you just don't text somebody that a message like that. What's your feeling on that, babe?
My feeling is you never text anything like that. You always call them. She could have called and said, 5 minutes. The time it took her to send that stupid ass text, she could have called John and said, hey, look, I can't talk too long. I'm in here. This is what's going on. Sending a text to say Dad dying without any kind of explanation or any kind of follow-up, to me, it's asinine. It's just uncaring. It's like she put no thought into it. And I really do think she does a lot of this stuff to hurt John, really. But, she doesn't realize he don't really care about her. So it doesn't anything she does really doesn't matter. But to me, that was just, that was below the belt. And you really should never do stuff like that. I remember when my dad died, my stepmother, she didn't text it, but she left me a voicemail. Your dad died. I was at work. I had a complete nervous breakdown at work.
Very insensitive.
Yes, it is insensitive. So go ahead.
So anyway, we were out. I get the message. I call back my mom. Naturally, her cell phone's not on, so I go into a voicemail. So my mom calls me back, and I was talking to somebody because I still pick up my phone even though I'm off. I was talking to a customer, and I rushed the customer off the phone so I could get to my mom, but she had already hung up, and she left a voicemail. And basically, her voicemail was, well, if you don't understand the text, then let me explain it to you. Okay, now you're going to be sarcastic. So now I'm dealing with a sarcastic person and an ass. So I called my mom back and I told her, I said, I understood the message, but I think it's kind of insensitive. She said, well, your dad's dying and I would suggest you coming down as soon as possible. So they're like a little bit over 2.5 hours, at least around 2 hours from us where we live. So I told my mom, I said, well, I'll be down in the afternoon tomorrow. So she's like, okay. Well, not actually she said that. Actually, she wound up saying, if I want to barely be specific, she said, well, I hope your dad lives that long.
Again, that's so callous. So callous.
So, which I'm laughing now, but I wasn't laughing when she said it.
No.
So, me and Ronnie got up. My son actually drove down because my foot's been bothering me. So he wound up driving us down.
Oh.
And,
You always say down, it's up.
No, babe, it's down the shore.
They're not down the shore.
Well,
They're a bridge over from New York.
Yeah, but still.
So that's up.
It's down.
That's up from us.
It's down.
People, please explain to John. We're in Philadelphia.
What, I look like a compass?
We're in Philadelphia. She's a bridge over from New York.
Whenever we went
up.
the shore,
when we went to
down the shore.
Right, that because it was down the shore. They were in South Jersey.
Yeah,
we're in Philly.
We always consider New Jersey down the shore.
We're
So anyway,
it's just always something with you.
Anyway, we drive down there. The whole time we're driving down, I'm sitting there thinking, I have all these flashbacks, thinking all this memories then, and it's going through my mind, oh my God, this is going to be the last time I'm going to see my dad. We get down there, and my son gets out of the car. He was walking on one side, Ronnie was on the other side, and I was in the middle. My son looks around the corner. He says, Dad, he says, Aunt Donna and Grandma are sitting outside with Grandpa in his wheelchair. He's wheeling himself all around. I said to my son, I said, you must have shit in your eye. I said, because how could he be on his deathbed and now he's out there rolling around in a wheelchair? Sure enough, he was there. My son didn't have shit in his eye. So we turn around and go over. I'm like, how's everybody doing? Oh, okay, it's good. My mom got to say, oh, your dad must have 9 lives.
Yeah, they started alibying. Because they knew that, not to say that this isn't a serious situation, but John's father was the same way he was when we went to see him a couple of months ago. And if anything, he was a little bit more boisterous this time because he talked more. He was in his wheelchair trying to run people over and laughing about it. So that's his dad. That's his sense of humor. Like John put his foot on the wheelchair to try to stop him, and he said, "What are you trying to be, a wise ass?" So that is so his dad. And I'm just gonna take a minute from John, because this is the way I'm seeing the situation, folks. And it's sad to say this, but I really think that his mother and his sister want this to be over with. They, not to say that they want him to pass, but I think they're tired of dealing with it. Nobody other than the nurse. All right, we'll get back to that. But it's not like the doctor pronounced someone his deathbed and say, you know what, there's nothing else we can do. A nurse told them that, but I'll have John get more into detail about that. But it's to me, it's just ridiculous. It really seems to me like they're tired of dealing with him, and they wish it would just be over. But what are you dealing with? You didn't want to take care of him. You put him in a home where you didn't have to take care of him. So now what's your problem? You don't want to go visit? I don't understand. All the burden or the pressure is off of you now and on someone else. All you have to do is go visit your husband and visit your father. I don't understand what the problem is, but to me, it really, really, really seems like they just want it to be over with and done. They're already planning his memorial. I told John all the time, I said, your dad is such a soul where he would stick around. I told him, I said, they're planning his funeral and doing all this stuff. I said, your father's going to live to be 100 years old. He might outlive all of us. And you know what? That would be their karma, because they want him gone. And I just don't understand it. That's the way I see the picture. I don't think I'm wrong, so whatever.
You tell him, baby.
Yeah, I tell John that all the time. Like, your dad is such an old cuss. He'll live to be 100 years old.
Did you just call my dad old puss?
No, it's like a cuss or something. I don't know.
Cuss?
Yeah, like, old cuss.
It's going to be like, you calling him old puss.
No. Go on and finish telling your story with your sister.
So anyway, I want to see how, my dad was, how his reactions were. So I looked at him and I said, Dad, look, you know who that is, don't you? And I pointed to Ronnie. And he's like, yeah. He says, I know who she is. Right away, my sister jumped up out.
But before you said that, before he said, does he know who I was? Because, his dad was just in a wheelchair, pushing himself around. He said, he looked at Sean and he said, you know who that is? He was pointing to Sean. And, he just kind of like nodded his head or whatever. John himself said, do you know who that is? And he said, Sean. Then he said, do you know who I was? And he shook his head like, I expect him not to know me, but every time we go and see him, he knows me. And I think his sister is just mad with that. Now, honest to God, I wish I was filming that. I wish I had that on video, because she literally jerked her father around in the wheelchair, put the wheelchair in front of Sean and said, "Do you know who this is? You know who this is, don't you?" And because I was like, I know this motherfucker just didn't do this. She could have gave him whiplash. She swung him around so hard to see, oh, it was like, oh, don't, you're not supposed to know who she is. You're supposed to know who your grandson is. He already acknowledged everybody. And they want to make it seem like he don't know people so bad. They really do. And I know it hurts her heart and gets on her everlasting last nerve that her father recognizes me. I don't care. You know what? You're evil. You are pure evil. So she does this, and I peeped it right away, and I didn't realize that John had said it too, because tell him what you said to me when we were sitting there.
What about her?
Yeah, about her. Yeah, because then you told me. I was like, okay, at least I was the only one that saw it and recognized it.
Yeah, because within a matter of seconds, when I said to my dad, I said, "Do you know who Ronnie, who this is?" Pointing at Ronnie, and he said, "Oh yeah." He says, "I know who she is." And within seconds, my sister grabbed the wheelchair.
I mean, she just jumped up out of the chair like somebody
to the other
stuck
side.
her and flung him to the other side, so he was facing Sean and said that nonsense. And I thought, there is no reason for you to go around with that much hatred. Woman, I don't care anything about you. I don't want to care anything about you. I don't know. I'm nice to people that are nice to me. You don't step to me. Her problem is, and I think I may have said this before, her problem with me is that when John and I started dating, she approached us like she wanted to be friends. Oh, come down to DC, do all this. And like I said, I might have mentioned, I never had a sister-in-law before, so I thought this might be nice. And then she wanted to talk a bunch of crap like she was in, 9th or 10th grade or whatever. John and I were a couple, and she tried to make it seem like she was okay with it. And then she went to his ex-girlfriend and talked a bunch of smack about me on Facebook, of all places. So I thought, okay, I didn't have her phone number or whatever. So I emailed her, or I don't know if I sent her back something on her Facebook. And I got down and
You
dirty.
wrote a letter.
Yeah, I wrote a letter, down and dirty. Don't mess with me. Mm-hmm. And she didn't like it. She didn't like it because she couldn't respond back because I blocked her. And I think she may have read the note or whatever to her parents, because I remember John's dad saying, "Leave her alone, stay out of their business." So she didn't like it because I told her about herself, and I told John, I said, "Your problem with your sister is nobody ever told her off properly. This is why she thinks she can get away with all this stuff, because nobody ever said Donnie you're wrong or got in her face like somebody from the hood, and that's me. All day long, don't mess with me." So that's what I did, and I think she's still harboring ill feelings from over 10 years ago because she never got to tell me off or do whatever. But I don't care. You're ignorant. I don't want to have anything to do with you. And you almost giving your dad whiplash because you was mad because he recognized me is totally stupid. So there you go.
Right. What it comes down to is Donna was showing her ass and Ronnie smacked her.
John, so I always think, I have this saying where I'm be like, don't show your ass. You show your ass, I'm going to tell you about yourself. And now John had jumped on the bandwagon with, show your ass. So this is his new kick.
Yeah.
This is his new saying all the time. Don't show your ass.
What was Schultz doing today? I told on the dog.
Oh, you told
I had told the dog.
You said Schultz was
showing his ass.
So now everybody's showing their ass.
Right.
This is his new saying.
My new saying.
Yeah. But anyway, back to your sister.
So I said to my mom when they were outside, "This way, Ronnie."
Oh.
Ronnie's always getting half an ear. So I said to my mom when they were outside, I said, "Who said Dad was dying?" And she says to me, "Well, the nurse had a feeling." So, I'm just going to say, I don't have any problem with nurses. I could never do the job that they do. So if you're a nurse, give you 100% respect, because I know I could never do that job. But if Ronnie was sick, I want to go to the doctor and find out what the doctor says. And a lot of times there are occasions where doctors are wrong. but I want to hear it from a doctor. Just the way I am, it's the way I feel. So I said, well, what did the nurse say? Did they do some kind of test? And my mom's like, no, she just had a feeling. Again, and I probably would have asked my mom that day when I was in the store, but I was just so irritated because how she called us, and they left that message to begin with. So, long story short, my mom and my sister wound up leaving. So we took my dad back to room and we spent some time with him in his room watching TV. And I had got up and walked around and I was looking at like different things in his room. So when I was looking at different things in his room, I came across what looked like a picture frame that was on top of his dresser or wardrobe, however you like to phrase it. So I looked at it and it was like a silvery color frame and the picture was out of it. So a couple years ago when we were down there, I had said to my mom, I said, oh, you got all these pictures, you don't have one of me and Ronnie. She's like, oh, you never gave us one. Now, I'm 55 and I'm going to be the first one to admit that my memory is not nowhere near when I was 26. But I know that we had brought our wedding picture down in a silver frame. And it was the 5x7, just what we had brought down. And I even said to my son, because he was with us a couple years ago, I said, do you remember us taking a wedding picture down in a silver frame? He says, yeah. I looked all over that windowsill. There was no other silver frame with a wedding picture in it. So that leads me to believe, which I can almost guarantee you 100%, when we put the frame, because he's got like a sill with like all family pictures, I said it's good for him to, be able to look at family members. It doesn't reset his memory, but it kind of helps him like try to retain certain things. And that picture was nowhere near, the glass wasn't broken in the frame, so it wasn't like they dropped the frame. But I told Ronnie, I said, my sister tore up the picture, threw it out, whatever, but she got rid of the picture. Now, if you're going to be a dumbass and do something like that, first of all, I think you're heartless to begin with. But throw the frame out. Why are you leaving the empty picture frame there? I almost feel like she left it there so I would see it. But when I said something to my son, I said, do you remember us? He said, oh yeah, Dad, I was with you when you brought it down and put it on the thing, on the little sill with all his family members' pictures. So, again, I guess the moral of this story is my sister is a heartless jackass. Best thing I could say. How you feel about that, babe? I bet you got some feelings on it.
You gotta be a cold mofo to take. I can't say what I want to say, but y'all get it.
Right.
To take a picture out because you're mad. What are you so mad about? To go through life so mad about nothing, to me, is stupid. You should live your days like every day is your last day and be happy, and just, you're married, you got all, you don't have any cares in the world. What are you mad at, really, at the end of the day? And I told John, I said, because we went down there, she's got all these pictures of everybody but John.
Her and her dog. She got a picture of her and her
dog going to see Santa. Okay, so, that's your life, whatever. But my whole thing is, we looked at it and we said, oh, well, there's no pictures of John. I wasn't even thinking about me. But I was like, there's no pictures of John anywhere down here. These people think he don't have a son. So I said, well, let's just bring our wedding picture down, and we'll put it up there, and that'll be it. Just show some pictures of him. I got he's got a son. And for her to do something like that, but see, I don't expect any more of her. I really don't. That's the way she is. And again, I am really a firm believer in karma. I don't care what Donna does. She is going to get hers in the end. That's just the way the world. That's just the way the world works.
She's just a heifer showing her ass.
John, hush. Yeah, he thinks he knows stuff about heifers.
You always say heifer.
But, I just thought, that's, to me, it's like, when do you stop? It's like, I don't put anything past it, but I'm like, that's just so petty. Why you gotta be such a petty Betty? Really?
A petty Betty?
A petty Betty.
Oh, that's a new one.
I was like, okay, whatever. So, the thing is, though, she ended up leaving. So I told John, I said, oh, she either in here sitting in the room talking to your ex-wife about us, or to her husband about us.
She was going a long time.
Yeah, she was going a long time. But I'm like, good, because John made it known, when we come up there, we don't want to see y'all. We're coming to see Dad, and that's it. And I'm glad he did that, because we don't need you in there hovering. His mom just hovers over him so much. And it's like, leave him alone. And she must have asked him 10 times, are you cold?
Oh,
and he kept saying no.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, come on, give the man a break.
Yeah, that was getting on my nerves. Ronnie, you keep going further away. You're never going to make camera woman of the year.
I'm not, because you know what I need? I need like a digital camera, and maybe not my phone all the time with this selfie stick. But I mean, that was just that's kind of the gist of what happened. And I got some pictures. I'm gonna throw some things in there. But to me, you guys let us know in the comments. Do you think his sister's a petty Betty? I do. I really do. And I think she's just, I'm not joking when I say I do believe she really is an evil person, because only people who have evil in their heart do stuff like that.
And I think we did another video that must run in my family with, again, Ronnie, if you don't put the damn camera on me. Ronnie's got it on my earlobe.
I'm trying to see you if you're in. I'm trying to get your whole face in there.
That's probably
It's not my fault. Your head's too big.
No, your camera's too small.
Okay, yeah.
But no, we did that other video about where I think I was telling about my grandfather. He did the same thing. He ripped up the picture of my prom date. Must be a thing with my side of the family where they like tearing pictures. I never thought in a million years that my sister would tear up our picture. And I know you give her a lot more credit than I do, because you know she's a rotten person. I know she's a rotten person too. But again, it's not her picture. That was my dad's picture.
Exactly.
And then it's almost like she leaves the frame there. Like, why would you leave the frame there? Why would you not throw the frame out? If you tore up the picture, just throw the whole thing out.
Personally, I told John this. I said, I think, and I tell him this all the time when arguing with people and things like that. I said, there's an art to arguing, and that art is you say what you have to say and you keep it moving. John, I guess that's just with his family. They argued till the sun came up. To me, I say what I have to say and I'm moving on. And I told them, I say, you have to get in there, get them punches in there, say what you got to say, hit home, and then just leave. Hang the phone up, say whatever. And he was just on and calling back and forth. That's what he used to do with his ex-wife and then the sister and all this kind of stuff. I said, you know what the problem is with her and your mother? I said, the problem now is you don't argue no more. You say what you got to say and you keep it moving. She wants to get down. She really wants to get under his skin, and she can't do that anymore.
Right.
So once you don't, because I always tell them, don't allow people to get under your skin like that.
Right.
You say, do what you have to do and keep it moving. And the fact that
continue what you're saying.
The fact that you don't do that anymore, you don't argue with them, you don't let them say things to you, you keep it moving, and you're not really even arguing or raising your voice. I said, and I always tell them, I said, and then hang the phone up or do whatever. I said, you can't argue with a dial tone. You can't argue with you being in a room by yourself if you walk away. And that alone will always get somebody worse than you standing there arguing with them for the whole day.
But the funny thing is that me and Ronnie were sitting outside with my dad, and my sister had asked if, what did she do? She asked, if Sean, my son, could basically help my mom, because my mom's in a wheelchair now, back to the car. And then she's like, she's trying to tell Sean, my son, she's like, oh, I wanted to say something to your dad about that text, but he doesn't understand. No, I understood what you did. And my mom's excuse basically for why she would text something like that was basically, she said, well, she was in the room with your dad and she didn't want to upset him if he heard it. Well, when we came down and sat down with them and started to talk to see how my dad was outside when we first seen him outside when he was wheeling himself around in a wheelchair, my mom's like, "Oh, they gave your dad last rites last night in his room," and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I didn't say anything, but it was in the back of my mind. You couldn't pick up the phone and call me and tell me that and give me some type of details because you didn't want to upset Dad, but you're going to say in front of him that the priest was in there giving him last rites.
That's what they said. Oh, yeah, he's got 9 lives, and they was giving him, the priest gave him last rites and all this kind of stuff. Okay, but you're saying that in front of him now, but you couldn't go outside in the hallway to make a call to your brother to let him know that, something was wrong with your dad. People full of BS. I mean, I'm telling you, man. Just we're not going down. We're not playing this game. So I just can't. I can't with his sister. I can't with his mother. Totally done. And I told John sometimes, because when she did that thing where she jerked his father around in that chair, I was so close to walk. I was about to say, Sean, give me the keys to your car, because I'm gonna go and sit back in this car, because I'm about to slap the shit out of your aunt. Because I really was going to do that, because I thought you were being so freaking ignorant right now. You run the risk of almost hurting your dad's neck. Because she
really did jerk.
She did jerk. Oh my gosh. Folks, I wish I had that on video, because she literally turned him around and his whole body went like this. I don't understand it. And I try not to. I am a peaceful person at heart. Don't get me wrong. I will throw down if I have to. And I told him, I said, it's just a matter of time before me and your sister throw down. So just make sure you have bail money. That's all I'm saying. Because that's what it really is going to come to blows. Because last time her and John argued, she threw a tablecloth at him. I don't know what that was about.
That could have injured the napkin.
But I get the feeling that she's the type that would throw stuff. And, honey, you don't want to throw anything at me.
No.
So no. I just look at it like, it is what it is. But I told him, I said, yeah, me and your sister, we're not done by a long shot. We're definitely going to have some words.
You better watch. You get hit with a pillowcase. The sheet is on. Get it? The sheet is on. The shit is on.
Always with the jokes. So, I guess that's pretty much about it that we wanted to say about it. We just wanted to share that because we figured maybe you guys out there can make some sense of it, because we can't. Not that we really want to make sense of it, because you know what? It doesn't make sense. What does make sense is she's an evil person, and that's all there is to it. So hopefully one day, I told John, I said, when something, God forbid, something happens, to his mom, or when his dad, when everybody passes, she's going to be looking to John, for some kind of solitude or whatever. And I know how I feel about it. I'm like, nope. I'm sorry. I'm all about forgiveness or whatever, but there's just some things that you can't get past, and the stuff that she's done can't get past it. I'm sorry. You gotta live with yourself and deal with whatever you believe in, and what your spirit is, or if you believe in a higher power or whatever, deal with that. And the thing about it kills me. Like, you guys are Catholic, right? So I don't want to get into religion, because we don't talk religion, but the whole thing about it is people always say they do stuff or whatever, and they claim they're the most religious people in the world, and I just can't get down with that. So it is what it is. You got more to say about your sister?
I don't know if my sister is. See, there's a difference with Catholic. You can be Catholic, and then you have practicing Catholic. That's people that go to church all the time. I don't think my sister's practicing Catholic, but a lot of the things that she said, about like different people and stuff like that, if you really wanted to get into it, my sister can say anything she wants about her religion, but she's really not religious. Because someone who's religious doesn't do stuff like that, and they have, a lot of times, you're going to have a more open mind to people and stuff. My sister she just one of the nastiest people, and to me, like I said, I'm not out to bash her on this. If you're going to be an ass, I don't have to call you out on it. And I will say, in an ending thought here, that since I have met Ronnie, is the window good out there? What the hell is going
know.
on out
you
the
better
window,
make it
Ronnie?
quick, because I think we're about to lose this video.
But in a passing thought, I will just get this out, that since I've met Ronnie, and I really had, I would say maybe anger issues when it came to like family members and stuff. One thing Ronnie has taught me to do is not to keep it all bound up and be just constantly, at the point where it really starts affecting you. So like I said, I'd let it go now. But like I said, it's still good to talk about it, because when you talk about it, you get it off your chest. But like I said, I don't carry it around, because I used to carry it around like an anchor before I met Ronnie. Isn't that right, Ronnie?
Yes, he did. I like to think that little piece of me wore off of him, because I told him, I said, you carrying around this anger and it's festering inside of you, and people don't even know they affected you like that. And you know what? They don't care.
Did you say festus?
Fester. So they don't care. So why are you letting it affect you like that? You can't. You got to let it go. So all that said,
is that Uncle Fester?
John, say what you say. What do we say when we say goodbye?
You say peace and love.
I
say God bless you all, and thanks for looking out the window.
Look, if your head wasn't so big. Thank you, folks, for watching, and as we say, to the next time.